Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Vitiate, and today we are going to cover the Melee Scum. So for this build today, it's intended to be more of a training build and kind of make the character a little bit more tanky as you grow and progress as the Melee Scum. So this build will kind of serve as a template as you grow and learn the character, and then over time you can kind of strip away and swap some things out. So with that said, we are going to Blackout with our Shivs out. So for this build, I ran it against Rotten Armor and Mobians. So I'm recording this today, and this was played last night. So just to show you the build efficacy of it, even though it is a training build, it is still very powerful. You can still do about 2.5 million damage, roughly a 50-50 split of melee and toxin. The most amount of toxin I think I've done is probably 1.3 or 1.4. That was the Stimm boss build, where I'm just nonstop mag dumping the needle pistol. I don't think I shot the needle pistol as much this time. There's actually 3 different sources of toxin in this build. 1 is the Blackout grenades, 2 is splash damage, and then 3 is the needle pistol. It doesn't look like the ovens proof mod splits this, which again, beggars can't be choosers, still a great mod. But I do just want to kind of highlight I'm not getting carried by Boombringer in this build. Okay, so for the weapons, we are running the Shivs Mark 1. The perks are Carapace and Unyielding. The blessings are Uncanny Strike and Precognition. For the secondary, you're taking the Needle Pistol Mark 6. Perks are Carapace and Unyielding. The blessings are Stripped Down and Run and Gun. For the Curios, you will take 2 Toughness Curios, 1 Stamina Curio. For the perks, it is 3 Combat Ability Regenerations, 2 Revive Speeds, 2 Stamina Regenerations, and 2 Damage Resistance to Gunners. For Stimm Lab, my general rule is if we're running against Rotten Armor, you will take Fury, which will give you additional rending. If you are running against non-Rotten Armor, you will take Wildfire, which will give you more finesse. So for the talent tree, I will give you the overview, and then I will commentate on why we picked certain things. Again, this is intended to be a Melee Scum training build. So for the talents, we'll come down and take Precision Violence, Burst of Energy, Float Like a Butterfly, the Blackout Grenade, 'Tis But a Scratch, Slippery Customer, Nimble, Sample Collector, Ruffian, Long Lasting, Rampage, Pulverizing Strikes, Boiling Blood. We'll come over to the left side and take Swift Endurance and Pickpocket. For the middle, we will take Punching Above One Weight, Hive City Brawler, Street Tough, and Hyperviolence. And then on the right side of the tree, we'll come down and take Toxin Mania, Toxic Renewal, Splash Damage, Pocket Toxin, Chemical Dependency, Chem Enhanced, and Chem Fortified. Okay, so now let's kind of break down some of these choices, why we make them. So the obvious one is for the blitzes. Whenever you kind of venture into Reddit and YouTube territory regarding Melee Scum, it's a little strange that one of the first things that comes out of people's mouths is the Boombringer. Not the Shivs, not the Bonesaw, not the Chrome Bar, the Blitz you take. And you understand why. The Blitz is completely broken. Ogren basically has the same Blitz, but only gets 1 of them. So it is understandable. It's just people do over-rely on the Boombringer. And that does kind of breed bad habits. So as a matter of fact, when I play pubs for Havoc 40, one of the easiest ways for me to tell how good a quote-unquote Melee Scum is how many targets they shoot a rocket launcher at. So if in the very first fight, they shoot this at 2 bulwarks, I already know that within about 2 minutes, that guy is going to die to a poxwalker. It's that simple. Whereas for the Blackout grenades, you actually have to be strategic and methodical. It also kind of follows the Doom style regeneration, and that you have to constantly be killing things at close range to get more of them. So this helps kind of grow and develop you as a Scum character, because you have to be way more active and dodging in and out of fights. And then as a result, you get to use more blitzes. For Slippery Customer, this is an excellent passive. The one thing you do need to pay attention to is if you begin to over-rely on this as the character, you will want to make sure you take it in every build. So for myself, I don't always take this, and I have to be very cognizant of that because it's already happened a half a dozen or so times where I dodge or I slide in thinking that I'm going to be immune, and then I eat an overhead. Now, for the keystone modifiers and dodging, so my chemical rampage that came out a few days ago, I used Alley Rat. For this build in particular, I ran two separate games, one of which I took Alley Rat, and the second I took Nimble, which is the gameplay footage you'll see for the remainder of the video. So here are kind of my thoughts. Okay, so for the keystone modifiers, there's 3 factors you have to consider when you pick which one you want to take. So for my chemical rampage that I released a few days ago, I took the Alley Rat perk, and I very much loved it on the Melee Scum. I use builds that take advantage of both. When I first started playing the character, I gravitated towards Alley Rat. Now that I've had more time with Nimble, I would say there's probably 3 factors you have to consider. So factors 1 and 2 go hand in hand. Are you running a ranged build or are you running a melee build? If you're running a ranged build, I prefer Alley Rat. I'm always kind of moving around. I'm always trying to create space. I'm always trying to close the distance. Alley Rat, I have found, is much better with like Desperado builds as well as Stim supply builds where you're using the needle pistol. For melee builds, I'm starting to gravitate more towards Nimble, and that's because the dodge distance linger time kind of gives you that added sense of security, which again, this build is intended to be a training build to get you better at the melee version of the character. The third factor is where it kind of blurs the lines. So you're probably looking at this and thinking, well, wait, didn't my chemical rampage take Alley Rat? The answer is yes. So the third factor you need to consider is the map size. So to give you an idea, the My Chemical Rampage build, I ran that on the Carnival. Now, if you don't know what that map is, it is the map where you're outside and there's all of the reddish, orangish brick buildings. And then the final stand is when you're fighting in like the Coliseum sports arena and you got to light the signal flares to bring in the Valkyrie. In that map in particular, there are numerous large, wide open areas. So even when you're going through the corridors, there's all sorts of side rooms and obstructions you can kind of dance around in. The final stand, you can just fly around the map. Several of the areas when you're progressing through the map have sideways and alleyways and little side rooms and like places you can jump up and jump off of. I found that Alley Rat in larger maps just felt better overall because I didn't feel as claustrophobic. Whereas in the game footage you're going to see, it's Chasm Logistratum, which, if you don't know what that is, it is the map where you have to go through the subway, you got to drop down, and that subway sequence is one of the most brutal parts of the game. And then the final stand is when you come out and there's the 2 trains on each side, and you have to bring the containers to the helipad before you fly out in the Valkyrie. So in that map in particular, everything is claustrophobic. Okay, so I ran 2 different versions of this build, one with Alley Rat and one with Nimble. So when we played Chasm Logistratum, since the map is so claustrophobic, when I would fight like a crusher and I wanted to side dodge, in my mind, I thought I'd go like right here maybe, so the shot would land and then I'd wind up like right there. The problem is when you take Alley Rat, you will overshoot these like, so again, I thought I'd be like right there. I'm much further, so I'm like twice as far away. The problem with smaller maps is when I would do this, so like if I dodge a crusher, I would dodge over. The problem is one of my teammates is standing right here, also fighting a crusher. So there were a couple times where I almost overshot my dodge, where I thought I was going to land, and then I almost landed in someone else's overhead. So for smaller maps in Melee, this feels kind of inferior because you're going to overshoot and overextend by mistake. Whereas in the claustrophobic maps, if I come back over here and I go to side dodge, now I land where I thought I would land. And then I kind of have that added buffer time to also dodge and avoid other attacks. So again, To re-summarize, if you're running ranged, you'll gravitate towards Alley Rat. If you're running melee, you will gravitate towards Nimble. If it's a bigger map, you might blur the line and cross over to Alley Rat. But if it's a smaller, more claustrophobic map, you'll go with Nimble. And then for chemical dependency, we are going to take the Chem Fortified. This is going to give us toughness damage reduction, make us a little bit more tanky. For maxed out chems, we're going to omit this and take long lasting instead. This will give you kind of a more forgiving and kind of easier to use stim cycle. You won't have to be constantly trying to maintain your uptime on the 4 different stacks. So this will turn out to be a little bit more user-friendly as you learn the character. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you in the next one.
Access will be achieved via maintenance node Chiron 13.
Deadly! Ranger incoming! Danger is gone! Range is gone! Push up! Down for you! They're coming! Come and face your death! This rock is so perish!
schedule.
Let's open you all up, shall we? How's Alfie still alive? Not bad! That's a dead flavor!
The bomber is set! Praise your beneficent emperor!
Bye-bye, bomber!
What's your side?
Follow me!
I'm crawling out of rockets like sub-robots! All I can do is crush them!
If you're safe! Oh, we're gonna have such fun! I'm sick of it!
Such needless destruction. At least maintenance node Chiron 13 access should be clear.
Professor! Who's donating it? Count! Roll with a shotgun!
Kill that bomber!
Easy!
security protocols in effect. Deploy data interrogator. Data interrogation rate acceptable. Interrogator requires your attention.
Behold! Another slave race!
Try not to make a muddle of this task, varlets.
Sounds like it for a meal! Come, shooter!
Data flow resuming. No interruptions. Omnissiah be praised. Disrupt the flow of data again.
Another sinner!
You won't be a thing! Promise!
The old Kazakin
Completion imminent.
Even the old can be guided to interrogate this now!
Suboptimal completion managed. Logistratum hazard distinction can be found beyond subrail complex Chiron 13.
Perish us now as a smile! Miserable lot!
A shield of their teeth, maybe!
You ain't done yet!
Go looking for fakes! Fakes! They're in cover! Big boom! One to the left, swallows, That's me! Armor!
What's you?
No more noise from that raider! Heidi!
Bloody to the elbows!
Heidi back down! Almost bomber! Time and again I hear you speak complicated words of which you have no understanding.
I'm always looking for admirers!
Ammo crate! Be gone from my sight! Take this!
Let me see those flames! Like grenade out!
sight reading all my kid rides.
We still run. Good or ill, it is too soon to know. So we scourge the you are judgment's hellhound! Where's that bastard? I love blowing them up!
Barrel's going! Forward!
No mercy! No remorse! We will not trust today!
Why are you aiming for armor? Hands croaked! Reaper! Got me some souvenirs! Where's Froggy? And don't take me home! I didn't rise! Well, I'm gonna have you see! You like what you see? Wave and crowd! Beauty's gonna come! You're heavy! Well, on purpose, I suppose!
Expect this. Be gone!
Run! Let me quit! In a blinder! Rapid fire!
Give me real fight!
Yes, Ella! Enjoy yourself!
This is the duty of the righteous! Going rock!
Bomber ready! Bomber advancing!
We are righteous!
Someone in the barrel! Barrel's gonna boom! Scanner! Who wants red crack?
Make note. Repair Bay Chiron 13 Kappa in lamentable condition. Reprimands to be issued.
Brother's gone out! You want me to see? Promise! That's one! Get down! Scanner! He's mine! Follow with a gun! Harrison's dead! Jordan!
Stratum supply track Chiron 13 Iota is below you. Follow it to your objective.
You know the real problem with these rotters? They're no fun!
I would have said, they smell that.
Sniper!
Judgment is at hand. Check that out.
Inspiration everywhere! It's a mauler! Oh, I'm shaking him up! Oh, smell spirit! I don't like it! You got yourself a kill! You gotta get him, lad! Let's be friends!
Never rage us. All one fold, the beneficent Emperor wills.
Start the perishing cannon! Let's make friends! Who's coming?
Coming in.
Ammo! No different guys! Hold up! Hey! Throwing grenade!
Got a med station. A gift of blessed ammunition.
I'll drop the ammo outside in the garage.
Pretty bright for a lump!
Very strong,
Yeah, but all Ogres have got the muscle.
maybe, but I have never.
Sniper eliminated!
Great. First to commence now. Do hurry.
Throw grenade! See what happens when you double tap! Aye, back up! What's the perisher? If you say so!
Get behind me! Go there!
Ammo crates over there.
Flavor is good and doornails!
Beneficent Emperor! Seize your words and your That's all you got?
Objectives validated. You may depart.